We're back this morning with a new push to make the invisible visible. Multiple sclerosis affects nearly 1 million Americans, impacting everything from mobility to mental health, often in ways that people can't see. Joining me live now this morning to talk about this new campaign and why it matters, Jay Saunders and Rebecca Shimke, two people living with MS. Thank you both for being here and for sharing your story. Let's first start with what MS is. For folks at home who are watching who may have heard about it, they know generally about it, but let's talk about what MS is all about.
Sure. MS is an autoimmune disease that affects your central nervous system. So people with MS get lesions on their brain and spine that can affect mobility, movement, all sorts of neurological problems.
Yeah, and we talk about it really impacting life in ways that people often can't see. What are some of the things that, I mean, you guys have even had to deal with?
Yeah, my number one is fatigue and dizziness.
Fatigue is a big one, especially when we have, for me, MS impacts people differently. People have different triggers. For me, it's like extreme temperatures. If I could, borrow a phrase from Molly, when the heat index or the feels like temperature is really high or really low, that's a big trigger for me personally, because being out in the heat is not great for folks with MS or bitter cold.
Yeah, and we know that this is something that impacts so many people. We mentioned 1 million Americans living with MS. March is MS Awareness Month. What do you think is the biggest misconception of MS when we talk about multiple sclerosis?
I've learned over the years, I was diagnosed 16 years ago, and I've learned over the years that people think that it is a terminal condition. That when I first told some of my good friends about MS, they thought that I was telling them about my death sentence. That's not the case. People can live fairly normal lives with this disease thanks to research and increases in medical technology, and that's why we have awareness. That's why we're here talking to you, because a lot of people don't know about MS, and we encourage people to learn, to get on the Google.
Yeah, let's talk about this new push, this new campaign, really trying to make MS more visible.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of things in the community. We take over the month in Wisconsin because Wisconsin leads the nation in incidence of people with MS. So we do a lot of things in the community to celebrate and raise awareness and just make people know more about a disease that's really misunderstood. There's two local businesses in particular that I'll give shout outs to that are doing things to give back. One is Carrie's Krispies in West Dallas. All month long they do a special flavor of Rice Krispies and Carrie's Chow, which is a puppy chow. They do a special orange flavor, and proceeds from each one sold is donated back to the MS Society. And then Ultimate Confections in Wauwatosa does a give back with some specific chocolates in their store as well.
Nice. And we're looking at video from the MS Walk that happened in 2025. The walk is not happening until May, but right now folks can already sign up and register.
Yeah, let's go. Come on down. May 3rd is this year's Walk MS. It's at the Summerfest grounds, so you get a fantastic walk along the lakefront. It's a fantastic atmosphere. People bring their families. People bring their dogs. It is just it's a fun time to gather funds and raise awareness for MS.
Yeah, love that. Jay and Rebecca, thanks so much for being here and again for sharing your story. We appreciate it. Sure. Again, Walk MS is set for Sunday, May 3rd at the Summerfest grounds. There are 1 and a 3-mile routes available. All are welcome to take part. You can find more information right now in the link section on the 12 News app.